So by a show of hands, how many of you have ever been on a plane? If you don't mind, please keep your hand up higher. I'm having a hard time seeing you guys. We are virtual right now. Quick side note, we probably have some liars in here today. So let's try something else. Let me think real quick. Let me think. Okay, I got it. By a show of hands, how many of you have ever owned a laptop or a phone? Hi again, please. If you don't mind, again, please keep your hand up. No, I can't see you guys right now. I'm so sorry. Because I don't think you guys have caught on to this game I'm playing right now. Because regardless, if you raise your hand or not, the reality is that you have either been on an airplane or at some point you have owned a cell phone or a laptop. That means you have more than likely willingly contributed to and supported the abuse, marketing, and deception of African families, their land, and their lives. An October 2019 article published by The Guardian informs us that cobalt is found in every lithium-ion rechargeable battery on the planet. That means from smartphones to tablets to laptops to electric vehicles. It is also used to fashion super alloys to manufacture jet engines, gas turbines, and magnetic steel. You cannot send an email, check social media, drive an electric vehicle, or fly home for the holidays without using this cobalt or coltan. According to a 2018 CNN article entitled Congo's Cobalt Crisis, we are informed that roughly 70% of the world's supply of cobalt are mined in the copper belt of the southeastern provinces of the DRC, otherwise known as the Democratic Republic of Congo. So today, in this speech, we will first analyze the history of cobalt mining. Second, we will take a look at the applications of cobalt and link it to our global economic structure, while lastly exploring the implications of cobalt mining in itself. The history of mining in the Democratic Republic of Congo begins with the birth of the DRC in 1998. From 1971 to 1997, it was named Zaire. As stated on sfbayview.com, after Rwanda, Uganda, and Burundi's successful 1998 invasion of eastern and southeastern DRC in the Second Congo War, mass-scale looting took root, as recorded by a UN official. While initial invasion tactics were still being worked out, military commanders were already making business deals with foreign companies for the Congo's vast mineral reserve with an emphasis on cobalt. The short history of the DRC has been mirrored by exploitation. Exploitation, I should add, by its fellow African nations, but more importantly, by white European and Asian countries. At one point, China almost holistically controlled all cobalt exports from the DRC. As alluded to earlier, there are a multitude of uses for cobalt. Some of the uses are explained to us by author Lisa Rowan when she stated, cobalt alloys are used in orthopedic implants alongside titanium and stainless steel. The Idaho Cobalt Project states that approximately 70% of hip replacements in the United States use cobalt chrome for mural stems. Cobalt-60, a radioactive form of the element, can treat some forms of cancer. The substance can also sterilize medical supplies. Cobalt chloride, sulfate, acetate, or nitrate can correct mineral deficiencies in grazing animals living on cobalt-deficient soils. Cobalt is an essential part of vitamin B12. According to tradingeconomics.com, cobalt traded at $33,000 on Friday, March 8, 2019. Historically, cobalt reached an all-time high of $95,250 in March of 2018. The price of cobalt is expected to remain high due to limited supplies and an ever-growing demand for the substance. It has risen by 150% between September 2016 and July 2018. Cobalt consumption is expected to exceed 122,000 tons this year, up from 75,000 tons in 2011, according to the CRU. The price per pound has risen above $40 this year, compared with about $20 in 2011, and is now at roughly $32. Although increased production is likely to help meet demands in the next few years, analysts speculate that shortages have happened or will happen as soon as 2022. When most think of mineral mining, a familiar image of heavy machines excavating rock and dirt from massive holes in the earth comes to mind. This, though, is not so the case in the DRC. In this developing country, human hands dig up mounds of dirt, cobalt and coltan. In the majority of mines throughout the nation, those hands belong to children. Many or so are young as 5 or 6 years old when they start. The work itself is backbreaking, and although the mineral extracted is used in the manufacturing of some of our society's most powerful personal devices, the tools used to cultivate the cobalt are primitive and the conditions abysmal. The horrid work environment is depicted in the 2019 article, The High Human Cost of Cobalt Mining. Shoeless, gloveless, and with no protection from the residue dust of elements of nature. The children work for upwards of 12 hours a day. Even adults employed in these mines receive few safeguards. Those that dig the tunnels do so without protective gear. The tunnels themselves do not reflect the ones dug by modern standards. Without the necessary bracing required to maintain their integrity and structure, shafts often collapse, many times with workers still alive inside. To understand the true implications behind cobalt mining in the DRC, we must first look at an article published by the Washington Post in February of 2018 entitled The Hidden Cost of Cobalt Mining. The article explains the environmental health risks posed by the extensive mining methods, going on to elaborate that the Congo holds not only vast deposits of cobalt, coltan, and copper, but also uranium. And because of this, scientists have recorded alarming radioactive levels in some mining regions. Mining waste often pollutes river and drinking water. The dust from the pulverized rock is known to even cause breathing problems. Another article entitled Blood, Sweat, and Batteries, as published by the Fortune magazine, depicts twins who were born premature, later dying from complications related to birth defects. This story links the death of these children to a father and a mother working in these Congo mines. What is possibly the biggest implication can be seen in the video from CNN that elaborates on children labor in the mines. The video states that there is an estimated 255,000 Congolese mining cobalt in the DRC right now, at least 35 of whom are children. Some of these children are as young as 6, and while market prices for cobalt have spiked 300% in the past 2 years alone, none of that increase makes its way down to the Congolese in the mines. To put that into perspective, the rich keep getting richer while the poor keep starving. In conclusion, today we have first analyzed the history of this topic and recognized how mining in the Democratic Republic of Congo have been and is still dominated by foreign nations. We later looked at the application of cobalt and the significance of what it is used for while linking it to the economics behind it, and lastly, we have shed a light on the implications of cobalt mining, emphasizing the effects it has on the population of those offspring.